Have you seen these plants around? In Gainesville, you've probably seen them in yards, along roads, and in our nature parks. It's Ardisia crenata, an invasive plant commonly known as coral ardisia. We here at the Gainesville Greenway Challenge use volunteer efforts to remove coral ardisia from our nature parks. Coral ardisia leaves are dark green and glossy with scalloped leaf margins. They produce bright red berries which can stay on the plant year-round. These berries have a very high viability rate, which means that almost every berry that you see will turn into a new plant. Once an infestation begins, ardisia can completely take over an area. Ardisia shades out native plants, which has the potential to change the ecosystem forever by altering the food web at the most basic level and causing plant and wildlife species to disappear from the area. We need to remove this exotic invader for the health and well-being of our ecosystems. There are a few steps to eradicating coral ardisia from our nature parks, and we need your help with the first ones. Here are the tools that you will need: a pair of gloves, a bucket, a tarp, trash bags, and in some cases, a shovel. The first step is to remove the berries. You can do this in one of two ways. The first method is to hold a bucket under the berries. Grasp the bunch and gently pull the berries from the stem and drop them into your bucket. Be careful not to lose any berries. They can easily fall under the leaf litter and disappear. Remember that each berry will probably become a new plant. The other method for removing berries is to grasp the plant by its main stem and one by one pull each stem of berries off the plant. Drop the whole stem into your bucket. Try not to remove more leaves than necessary. Healthy leaves help the plant to absorb carefully applied herbicide. Once the berries have been gathered into buckets, they can be disposed of by double bagging them in a strong garbage bag. We usually do this over a tarp to collect any stragglers. The berries are carefully disposed of in a landfill in order to reduce their spread through the landscape. We like to think of invasive exotic plant material as if it were hazardous waste. Another important step to slow the spread of ardisia is to remove seedlings. To do this, hold the seedling by the base of the stem and wiggle it back and forth while pulling up. This should free the roots. Place all seedlings into your bucket so that they can be disposed of in the garbage. On Gainesville Greenway Challenge sites, we prefer that adult plants be left in place. City staff will carefully treat the individual plants that are left with herbicide after the berries and seedlings have been removed. Coral ardisia has a strong root system and can be very difficult to pull out of the ground. But if you're working on your own property and don't plan to use herbicides, it can be done. After removing all the berries, pull them up carefully. If you break the stem and leave the top of the roots behind, it will resprout. It's easiest if you use a shovel or other tool to cut the roots first. After you pull the plants out of the ground, we recommend hanging them upside down in the vegetation. These plants are so aggressive that if their exposed roots are left on the ground, they can reroot. We couldn't be nearly as effective without your help, so thank you for helping to keep Gainesville Nature Parks healthy and exotic-free. Keep up with the Gainesville Greenway Challenge by following us on Facebook or on Instagram at GNV Greenway Challenge.